Hello everyone. This presentation is from Druid technology, introducing the tools that we have to help you implement a successful and comprehensive tracking project and do fine behavior analysis. By comprehensive, we mean the ideal solution that gives you long-term, continuous data of multiple dimensions and high resolution on a large sample quantity. For this, the ultimate technical limitation would be the size. With a big size, you can have endless power and all the sensors and modules you want, but this is usually not the case. So, it's our job to design very efficient power management scheme using algorithms to prioritize different data, compress data volume by onboard computing, and reduce the cost. While for the user, to have an ideal tracking result, you need to select a suitable tracker and a good deployment method. First, you need to consider whether to go with a backpack, leg band, neck collar, or other. Each have its own advantage, and also what is the weight limit. Generally, backpack offers the best solar charging efficiency and thus gives you the finest data. However, it requires skills in doing the harness. If improperly deployed, the device might fall off or cannot work properly, or even worse, mortality could rise. Collar and leg band are comparatively easy to attach. After selecting the right models and deployment method, you need to consider on the accessories. What size collar is good for my bird? Should I elevate my backpack to avoid feather covering? How should I elevate it? The whole device or just the solar panel? These are very crucial details that determines your final tracking results. We've seen a lot of cases where the powerful trackers are deployed, but just unable to bring out the best performance. Sometimes the data volumes are dozens of times different. So, to help users reduce such risks, we are designing multiple models with flexible deployment methods and modulated accessories to fit different birds. The user make decision when they buy them, and they got accessories to do fine adjustment by themselves during field work. For large or medium-sized birds, you have a lot of choices among those full functional devices, such as the Flex series. And the Lego series. They're with different sizes and weights. And the flexible Omni series of various deployment style on neck, back, or leg. And the small ones, the Mini series. It is the smallest GPS solar tracker that transmits data via 2G or 5G network, or Argos satellite system, which is especially suitable for birds that spend their time far away from land. This is an example of the data platform. As you can see, it is no longer the old era of plain text, white and black, but multi-dimensional data visualized in vivid form for convenient browsing. This is an example of a Lego device collecting nearly 2,000 GPS a day. This is not a selected cases, but happens every day. With these tools, you can easily check and correlate 3D GPS tracks with speed and height to the activity rhyme and environment conditions. And you might get some valuable conclusions or interesting insight from that. When we came to even smaller sized birds, we don't want to make sacrifice on the data collecting ability. So we used an alternative transmission method called interlink to have long life GPS trackers weigh from 2.5 grams. This has been used on many turns in Asia, Europe, and New Zealand. The new version starting from 2 gram is in testing right now and will be available soon. With that, birds that weigh around 70 grams can be tracked with years of continuous GPS, ODBA, acceleration, and environmental indicators. And you don't need to recapture it. This is a typical example of turn research, which gives more than 100 GPS per day in average, and you have all the other data types. This researcher placed a hub on a small island during its flyway to receive and upload data for Nano remotely and automatically. This is how the hub looks. It functions as a relay between Nano and the cell tower. You can easily place the hub in an open space. Somewhere high would be better. It is waterproof with a big battery and can be recharged by solar or power cable. The signal range can be as far as 1.5 kilometers. When the Nano flies into the range, the hub will automatically obtain its data and upload. This is good for breeding site research. And since Nano has a big memory, it can also record migration as long as it will eventually goes back to the site. Hub has many interesting applications, which makes the tracking even more comprehensive. For birds at breeding site, if you put a hub near the nest or colony entrance, you can get accurate records of the time it enters or leaves the nest area. It gives you the statistics of nest returning behaviors, how the parents take shift to taking care of the eggs or babies, what is the foraging pattern during the breeding period, does the parent have fidelity problem, something like that. Or you can choose to carry a hub on your backpack and connect your mobile to it via Bluetooth. Then you will be able to see on your mobile phone when an attacked bird comes near you and use your phone to do some operations on them. And hub can also be used to solve many other problems. For example, you can also set that when the bird is in the nest or colony, I want the device to stop working to save the power and resume working again when it flies out. Yes, you can do that. This is a very flexible power saving scheme, can be used for even nocturnal or hibernating animals. You don't need to preset a rough period. It will automatically detect that. Or you can combine those two settings together to make it even precise. Save the power to the most extent without missing any valuable data records. For even smaller species, which can only bear tiny tags, we can also use the hubs to do trilateration. For example, in an intertidal zone, say 1 times 2 kilometers, you need to deploy about 8 hubs. Then the trackers on birds will get accurate positions by measuring the signals from the hubs, not GPS. Thus, tracking birds under 50 grams or even 30 grams will be possible. And it still gives you other data types. You may wonder, what if the bird flies away? Can I still receive data? The answer is yes. You just need to deploy the hubs along the flyway. And we think it's feasible because we're able to reduce the cost to support large sample sizes and a large quantity of hub deployment. They're also very easy to use and maintain. And it's definitely worth to do because it is like charging piles for electric cars. Next, I'm going to talk about fine behavior analysis. Fine can be the opposite of comprehensive and can also be a part of it. Firstly, with high resolution data, you can generate individual flight animation like this. Very intuitive for you to check on its flight behavior. Secondly, you can visualize the data on the web page for correlation. Here I give two examples. On top is a comparison between speed and height. I was always looking at them and imagine how the bird adjusts the speed for different landforms. On the bottom is a case of a mortality detection. This is a swan in winter. This clearly showed that the device has fallen off or the bird died. At a certain point, the device cannot detect any activity, and the temperature dropped because it is no longer supported by the bird's body temperature. The third is ODBA. This describes how the activity intensity changes along time for each individual. It is based on the 25 Hz acceleration. The computing is on board, so you get continuous ODBA output, which is very valuable for long-term behavior research, such as the activity rhyme and energy utilization pattern. Here is an example of 1 day and 1 month. If you want to do even fine behavior research, you can also have the raw acceleration data. Here is an example. When you check the GPS track, you want to know what the bird is doing there. You click into it and check the raw acceleration in the 3-axis of XYZ. On the right, you can create behavior tags for it, whether it is flighting, resting, or foraging. What you get from this is raw data with marks, which is the foundation of behavior algorithms. When you have that algorithm, you can write it into your device, so it is able to compute and output continuous behavior tags just like the ODBA. This is the AnyAct algorithm platform. With this, we finally achieve the comprehensive tracking, which enables us to know where the birds are, what is their surrounding environment like, and what the birds are doing. As a conclusion, I want to say that Druid was founded with a beautiful dream of using the technology to guard the nature's balance. We want to use the IoT technology as the bridge for information exchange between human and other creatures, the most easy-to-use data platform for man-machine interaction and artificial intelligence to enhance the data quality and help interpret the data. Thank you for your listening.